Hey guys, it's Rebecca Jarvis coming to you live from my office inside of ABC News. Here on the couch with me in the office, two amazing guests. We have Anitta. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. It's amazing to be here.
It's amazing to have you here from Brazil. You're literally getting on a plane back to Brazil.
Yeah.
As soon as we wrap this up.
Yeah. As soon as we're done, straight to the airport in Brazil.
Singer, songwriter, performer, actor. You are all over the place. You performed at the Olympics recently.
Yeah.
Your YouTube videos are, literally getting millions upon millions of views. And with you, we have John Shahidi, the co-founder of Shot Studios. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're excited to have both of you here. I want to talk to you, Anitta, a little bit about... John, thank you.
He's not that used to do this, but it's cool.
Some of you might remember, John, from a few years back, we did a great interview here at ABC News about the work that you've done with Shots and the Shots app, and you've come a long way from that Shots app over the years. Anitta recently signed with you. And Anitta, I'm really curious about your path, because you started out singing in the choir, 6 years old as a kid.
Yeah.
You went to technical school, so you studied music, and then you posted a video to YouTube.
Yeah, actually, I didn't study music that much because in Brazil it's kind of difficult if you were not born rich. It's difficult to learn English, music, arts, everything. To be honest, we don't have so many opportunities in Brazil if you don't have this rich thing,
but you have a
rich life. But yeah, I learned my music side, the way how to sing, how to do it, and the church singing with my grandpa. And
did you have a favorite song growing up?
I used to listen to everything, for real, not only children's songs, but everything, most Mariah Carey too, most of the time. And in the church, yeah, I had songs that I used to sing. And but then it was always my dream, and I started to build these things, and I always wanted to be a singer. And when it started to become true, actually I studied another thing. I was studying business. I graduated in business,
which is important if you're going to get into the music business.
Yeah, now it's helping me a lot, because before I met Johnny and Shots in Brazil, I built everything with my brother together. So my company with him. So before this international stuff, it was me and my brother, and then in the end of the day, it was cool. But I was doing business, studying business, but my passion was music, and then now I'm using both. And now when my career got big in my country, and I'm only 24 years old, I started to think, well, now I need a next step. You
need to come to the U.S.
I need something more.
And you perform in Portuguese, Spanish, and English. Given the success of a song like, for example, Despacito, you see how
even in my, if you were born where I was born, so and it's even harder because it's not Spanish. Everybody thinks that just because Brazil is next to the countries that speak Spanish, they think it's the same thing, but it's not. Brazil is a completely different market. Singing in Portuguese is different, so now is starting to mix. And I worked hard for it in my country, but it's good to see that it's easier now to happen with the Spanish music, and that's why I wanted to speak Spanish too, and now I'm speaking Spanish, singing in Spanish, and I'm very happy. It's only the beginning. I don't want this we are already launching some songs together, me and Shots, and we are not worrying on numbers now. We want to do just great music.
Timeless, great music.
Timeless, yeah.
John,
I think
He taught me this word, timeless music.
well that's the one thing. It's I think where you just I mean she was even she's had this mentality before even meeting us is like quality quality content, even not just her music but her music videos. Some of her music videos have 200 to 250 million views. When you watch them, and the songs are in Portuguese, but when you watch them, you just get, whether you speak the language or not, you get warped into it. It's and what's crazy about what she was mentioning is she's she's not just the artist, she's actually the creative director behind all her music videos as well. So what's fascinating is Anitta, she's got a little over 23 million followers on Instagram. And when we look at her analytics, somewhere around 21 of those 23 million followers are out of Brazil, which is a country of, I think, 205 million people. So over 10% of the population follow her. Now, the number's balancing out because now she is getting into Latin music and English music. She has one song in the Spanish world as of now. She's going to have another one that comes out on the 19th with J Balvin. And
what's the name? Do we have a name? Downtown. I like it.
So she's got that, and she's got 2 songs already in the last 2 months that have come out in English, one with Pooh Bear and one with Alesso, and she has more music.
I watched those videos. They're really cool videos.
Yeah, well, she was behind the music videos, and I'll let her talk about that too. But
what we want is not now. For now, we don't want huge numbers. We are getting good numbers, but we don't want to break now. We just want to have a good material to show and have good music to make people understand me, understand my work, and starting to build this. Nothing is so fast. I'm not expecting me to show up now and just break the world right now. It's not what I expect. I expect to do something more solid, if we have more time to plan, to do the good music, no rush, so we can start to get to reach people. And that's what is happening. We had this song in Spanish, Paradinha, and it was my first one, and now we are already having Latin people stopping us sometimes, like it was in my beginning in Brazil. Sometimes a person recognize me, eres Anitta, in Espanol, and in Spanish, and it's cool because it's 3, 4, 5 months ago, and it's already growing up. So we just had this song in English, and it's starting, and there's one thing we are not. It's like we're not rushing, We just want to do great music and reach people with this quality.
You're building a community
around
what you do.
Yeah,
in your
I
music.
think the big challenge is to reach these other markets without losing my audience in Brazil. Without
Stay
losing
true to what you are and what you created, but build on it.
Yeah, because the language, English is the first one responsible for numbers and results and internet and social media and charts. Spanish is the second language, and Portuguese, Brazil, means lots and lots of numbers. So if we sing these 3 languages, so we can reach a huge number, and that's what we want to do, but with no rush, because then we can keep the quality of our work. And Brazil is a very typical market. It's not like Latin America. It's not like USA. The culture is really, really different. So that's the challenge. Keep my people with me and starting to show up in other places.
Well, I'm sure your people are watching, and they're very happy to hear that they're with you.
They're always supporting me. I'm happy.
When you came here, you were looking for a manager, and I heard that you met with 12 different managers. More than 12.
More than.
What was that experience like? Because I'm sure there are people out there who think about this idea of going out and finding a manager.
Yeah. This is a situation that never has happened before in Brazil. There's no artist in Brazil that in the music that does this popular commercial side, singing in Spanish and English and Portuguese at the same time, doing all the markets at the same time. So it's something really new. We call in the business in Brazil we call it this is a greenfield market. It's something new that you need to figure out how to do it because nobody has done before. So that's what we are doing, figuring out with the experience and with the things we are doing, how people are gonna receive and accept, and how the market will give the feedback for us, and then we get the other steps. So it's something so new that we can just plan like it's something, we knew this, we saw this before, so that's the steps. No, it's something completely...
It's all about experimentation.
Yeah, because it's completely different from anything. We can't see an example that we can follow. So we need to build our own strategy that it's going to be the first.
John, you're so important to some of this strategy. I mean, you're the driving force. You're the visionary. With Shot Studios, you now represent Lele Pons, Rudy Mancuso, Anitta. How do you see all of this, and what's your advice to the young artists out there who are publishing their music on YouTube, publishing their music on social media, and trying to get that reach and trying to get heard?
Well, the first part is, with Anitta is what my brother Sam and I really recognized was the one thing with Brazil is it's a country that's very disregarded when you're outside of Brazil. People don't understand the culture of Brazil. They don't understand the power and influence of Brazil.
It's very influential on social media.
It is. It's very social. Like, it's very social. Like, people communicate. They're on smartphones, whether, doesn't matter what the economy looks like. People are still figuring out how to buy the new Samsung phone, the new, mobile device. And, so we knew that because of our app, the Shots app. The Shots app, Brazil was our second largest market outside of U.S. And I remember we actually had, I've never shared the story with Anitta. We used to have this same issue that Anitta had when she would met with 12 different managers, and none of them really saw the vision that she saw. No one really saw that, wow, you can take what you've done in Brazil the last 5 years and implement it into 2 markets, not just one, not just in the U.S. You can implement this in Latin market as well because she's fluent in Spanish. So we had that same issue when we had the Shots app. Was Brazil was our second largest market. And I remember used to going around VCs and telling them how big Brazil was and how we were growing in Brazil. No one really understood. They looked at Brazil as like, what is that? Not knowing this is a very social and creative country. Like when you go to Brazil, even when you look at like the buildings and the architecture, or even like the graffiti is like, wow, that's beautiful graffiti, like everything. It's just a very artsy country. So that's when I met Anitta. I was like, yep,
I
know
clicked.
Exactly. Yeah, it just clicked. And I think same thing too. I think she was looking for, because even though she met with 12 different people, it wasn't that they necessarily passed. She didn't connect with them as well. She thought to her, I wasn't there. We were luckily the 13th or 14th, but we were at dead last. But and it wasn't even meant. It was actually a mutual friend of ours that had a dinner, and we were at the dinner together, and we met. But I think the thing with her is she also needed a forward-thinking team. She needed a team that would think outside the box and not do hey, this is the standard way to do things. Because standard, the only thing that would anger Anitta is when you want to do anything by the norm, right? Like, she wants to think of completely different ideas.
Right. When people say to you, Anitta, who do you want to be like? Your answer is, I want to be Anitta because I don't need to be like somebody else that's out there.
That's what I say because.
Is that what you say?
I
like that.
I always say this. I thought you saw
sitting in
some,
on your meetings.
no, I thought you saw some of my Brazilian interviews because I always say this.
Real quick, that answers your second question about the advice to
Yeah.
anyone that wants to do that.
Be
the
authentic.
first of you.
Yeah.
Don't be the next whomever.
Totally.
Be the first of you. That's my
Yeah, that's what I want to be. Me. I was looking for all. I met all these people because in Brazil in the last year and until I met them, I managed myself. I used to manage myself alone. It was me, my company, my employees. I did everything, and then, but internationally, I mean, I don't know the culture. Some things he teach me. I can't do it alone. I wasn't born here. It's the same thing. If he tries to do something alone in Brazil, he will never do because the culture is a very big thing in the middle of the way that you can't just pretend it's not there. So I was trying to find somebody, and I met really good people, amazing people, and but they had huge artists, and I thought maybe I need somebody that will be really focused, like take me as a priority and wanna learn with me. Learn together. I'm learning international market. He's learning Brazilian market, and there's no ego involved. It's like he knows he doesn't know Brazil because he wasn't born there. So there's some things I need to teach him, and it's
What do you think is the biggest thing a person from outside of Brazil needs to know about Brazil? Needs to learn about Brazil?
Because Brazilian people, they care about the person, who you are. It's not only the song. It's not only the music. It's much more. They need to know about you as a person, because they are like this. They are warm. But when you go do a show in Brazil, any international artist, they always say, "Oh man, that was the best show ever," because people are really, they're passionate. So that's the difference. And the things he learns with me is how people respond and how's the feedback of the things we do. And what I learn with him is exactly the opposite here. Exactly the same thing, but here, the opposite. So we're doing an exchange, and it's really cool because he doesn't look to Brazil and say, "Oh, forget Brazil." No, it's the opposite.
I think we have some questions, right?
Yes, we have hundreds of comments coming.
Hundreds of comments.
Sadly, they're all in Portuguese, and I can't speak Portuguese.
But some of them they try to speak in English.
There's others coming through too in English. One of the ones that I did read in English was, "Who's the next person that you want to collaborate with?"
Yes. Who's the next person you want to collaborate with?
I wanted to collab with Balvin, which is we worked together before 3 years ago, but it was a remix, and now it's a dream because he's a very, very good friend. And I don't know if it's to dream big, maybe Drake.
Drake, I like it.
Maybe John Mayer. I met John Mayer weeks ago. To dream big, Beyonce, Rihanna. Let's just dream.
You're open, basically.
Justin Bieber.
John, do you have a person that you feel like she would just totally mesh with?
Well, one of the things we discussed too is like doing different style of music, right? Like taking this, the style of that Anitta has, which is like pop and this genre that she could talk about in a little bit called Brazilian funk, and implementing that into some of these genres that are fast growing. Right now, I know in the U.S. and the general market, the three of the fastest growing genres right now are hip hop, Latin music, and EDM dance. So she has her Latin song that's coming out next week on the 19th. Then she has she just had her dance song. So I think hip hop is something that should, and she loves hip hop. She loves Future. She loves P&B rock. She loves, what's his name? Lil Pump. The Gucci Gang. Gucci Gang. Like, there's a song we were listening to all day in the car today. So
what happens is I started doing a rhythm. It's called funk music, and it's almost the same history from hip hop in the 90s. Now funk in Brazil. It's and it's the same history of reggaeton for the Latin market. It's the same thing that is hip hop for the USA, and funk is the same thing for Brazil. It came from the ghetto. I came from this place too. I was very humble, poor, and all these kind of things. And this rhythm used to sing about guns, sex, drugs, things that people that has no education see in their lives. So they grow up watching this kind of things, and so they sing about this. And what I did was to get this amazing beat and sing lyrics that everybody would enjoy, talking about powerful women. And my country was kind of conservative. I mean, you need to be a girlfriend, a wife, have your kids, and be a good girl. And I just, I want to say whatever I want to say. I want to do whatever I want to do. You girls don't need to act like Santas to be accepted. You just can be yourself. And I started to put the dance, the sensuality, and also try to explain people that it's not because you are sensual that you're not intelligent. Not because you are, I don't know, you like to kiss 10 guys in 1 week that you are not smart or you're not respectful. So that's the kind of message I tried to give them, because there was so much this, you can't, the feminists in Brazil exist, but it was more about, we have to be paid right, equality, and the jobs and work and the laws and the law. But this kind of behavior, I mean, I can't be with 5 guys. That's okay. Why it's okay for a guy to be with 5 girls and for a girl it's not good?
It's the double standard.
So I bring it to the music. I know it's something more like, it's something like Beyonce does, Rihanna does, but in Brazil they do understand English like this. You can say bad things about Brazil that they're not gonna realize, because you really need to dedicate and to make a huge effort to learn the language. So I just did this in our language, and now they understand it.
More questions.
Yes. So Mary Sara said, Anitta, do you think funk will change the world? And what other cultures need to know about Brazilian funk music?
So Mary Sara, is funk going to change the world? Great question.
I don't think funk is going to change the world. I do think that sometime funk is going to have the same space, the same moment reggaeton is having now. That's what I think, because reggaeton was something very Latin and now is worldwide. And I think that one day funk will have this moment. I don't know if it's going to change the world, because the world has so many things, but musically, maybe.
Good question.
I think there'll be a song. I think there'll be an English song with a funk beat.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be Anitta who does it first, or someone's going to discover funk music soon, and you know, I mean, reggaeton was really built off, you know, hip hop, you know, and I think that's what's going to happen with funk as well eventually, you know, when people start paying more attention to Brazil and what funk is. Most people don't, I didn't know what funk was till March of this year. You know, so,
now,
you know, now I'm obsessed. No, I mean, I know some of these songs word for word. I don't even know Portuguese, you know, like, and I was singing an entire song, which is in reverse what's happening with her. Right now she has 2 songs in English, the one that came out in September. And people throughout Brazil at our concerts are singing these songs, you know, especially in parts of Brazil, like in northern Brazil, where they don't speak English at all. I mean, literacy rates are really low in general, even in Portuguese out there. And people are, you know, learning her songs, her English songs, and they're learning
Of this, we need new things for the audience to deal with. A new girl, a new voice, a new everything, a new rhythm, a new too many things. We're just playing a strategy. We're playing the game. I mean, doing the kind of music that is playing now that people are accepting, and then when we reach the goal, we can bring some new things. That's what I did in Brazil.
All right, we have time for maybe 1 or 2 more Facebook questions. Natalia says, do you have a date to finish your project Checkmate?
With the Brazilian people, they are very, very curious about this.
I'm just going to tell people, I don't know if they could hear. So, Nathalia, great question. Do you have a date to finish the Checkmate project?
Okay, yeah, they're very interested about this. This project is a way that we found to don't put out an album, because an album creates a lot of expectation, pressure, and you need to be amazing in this album, and people are always like, album. So this idea to launch 1 video every month was just to make sure we would have good numbers and a good attention with our new material in another language, and also to have new material in other languages, Spanish and English, without losing Brazilian attention, because I have a Portuguese song that we just launched a few months ago that is playing with Major Lazer, Sua Cara, and so they are faded with this song in Portuguese and paying attention with these new things we are just putting out. No commitment, no wish to be number 1, just great music, and just make sure they're gonna be fit. And then next year we're gonna have the plan to get the numbers and the charts and the things, because as we told here, it's something never done before. So I'm not gonna say when we're gonna finish this, because it's a surprise, and if something really amazing shows up, we can just change everything, because we just care about the artistic part.
So I have a question that I ask everybody who comes on the show, and it is, what is the worst advice you've received in your career? But here's what I want. I don't speak Portuguese. I would love for you to answer the question in Portuguese. And how do I ask you that question in Portuguese?
Qual foi o pior conselho que você já recebeu na sua carreira?
Okay, so imagine I just said that. Now you can answer in Portuguese, and then you can answer in English, if you don't mind. I just think there's so many people watching in Brazil right now.
Yeah, no, but they later, you know what they're gonna do?
What?
They're gonna get this interview. They're gonna translate everything, put the subtitles in Portuguese, and load in somewhere. And if you wanna do this on your channel, it's gonna be amazing. They will love
everything
it.
To Portuguese.
Translate to Portuguese. Put there, because they're gonna do it now.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should I be? Yeah. You can look at all of my videos online. Let me know if I should just put Portuguese subtitles under all of them.
They're gonna translate everything. Put the subtitles. Put everything in the video and load so they can understand. That's what they're gonna do. That's why I'm not worrying about this. They're gonna Brazilian people. You need to know something. They always find a way. Always find a way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why.
Respect.
The country has issues, but so that's why Brazilian people always find a way to make things happen. The worst advice ever was I've never in my career had help. You know, in my beginning with this prejudice with funk, people were like afraid to be by my side, to be showed up with me, because it was a bad image, you know. And later I got famous, I got big, and I decided to help a friend. Not a friend, he was not my friend. It was just a talented boy that sings funk. And I saw that guy in the internet and I said, oh man, this guy is amazing. But he was like alternative, like urban, no label, no manager, no anything. And I called him and I said, hey, let's do a tour together. He said, what, me opening your shows? I said, no, a show, me and you, like Beyonce and Jay-Z together in that tour. Let's do something like this, mixing your songs with my songs, funk with my pop and my funk and everything together. And he was like, I can't believe you are inviting me for something like this. And I said, yeah, I am. And the advice I had was, what? You're gonna mix your image now that you are growing up, now that you are getting out of the prejudice, that you are finally being accepted from people that had prejudice with funk. Now you're gonna associate your image with this guy. You're gonna come back 10 steps. And I said, okay, but I don't care. That's where I came from. That's the rhythm that helped me. This guy is cool. I know what happens with people from favela that just don't happen anymore. Mm-hmm. Maybe she can come back to have a bad life. And if I can do it for somebody, I don't care if people didn't do it for me. I just want to do. And I had this fight with these people. I did the tour. I was my own manager. And that time, I did the tour myself. I said, I do whatever I want to do. And in the end of the day, nowadays, this guy got big in Brazil now. Everybody loves him. And I still helping people. And sometimes people are not cool with me. And sometimes I'm sad. And I don't even tell him, because now we are brothers. Mm-hmm. I don't even tell that I'm sad, but sometimes he just show up with a message, say, I'm so grateful you did this and that for me, and I have no words, and this and that. And sometimes I'm sad because of anything of life, and he just shows up being so grateful and so cool that it makes me, I don't know, I just get forced from this to work more. I don't know.
That is a very powerful piece.
Yeah,
of worst
and
advice.
It was a bad advice. Just don't help this. Don't do this.
And the thing that to me is really interesting about it, most people when I ask that question, the worst advice is something that would have withheld their own career. But for you, the worst advice was not helping another person in their career.
Yeah, because even today, there's some people that are not grateful, and it hurts. But I think that you should do things for the others that you would like people to do for you, even if people are not doing. Because then, if everybody behaves like this, oh no, I'm not going to do because nobody does, the world will never going to change. I know I'm only one person. I'm only one. But, okay, I just want to be this only one that does. No matters if people will be grateful or not, if people do it to me or not. I don't care. I just...
You're taking your shot.
Yeah, that's
with
it.
Shot Studios. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for coming in.
Hi,
Anitta,
thank you.
safe travels
Thank
back
you.
to Brazil. I look forward to seeing a lot of you all over the world. Let people know if they're new to you and your story, where they can get more information, where they can follow you on social media.
Of course. And all my social medias, it's Anitta with double T. And go to Shots too. It's all the social media. It's only Shots. And you can see all this family because all the guys from Shots, Alesso, Marshmallow, Lele, Rudy, even Pooh and the friends, they support each other. So just go there and see all these great people that helps each other. That's it.
Wonderful. Anitta, John Shahidi, thank you so much to
I
both
thank
of
you.
you for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you to all of you for joining us. Thank you so much for your questions. I'm excited to learn Portuguese now. It's important,
Yeah,
right?
if you ever come to Brazil, text me because I'm gonna make sure you're gonna have the best time ever.
You know I'm going to text you.
I'm gonna make parties at my
I
house.
love it. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day. Be well.